Have you ever felt like giving up? In the heart of despair, even the bravest can feel overwhelmed. Consider the story of Elijah from the first book of Kings, chapter 19. Here, a mighty prophet, exhausted and pursued, finds himself under a tree in the wilderness, praying for his life to end. His journey had drained him, his spirit battered by the winds of adversity. This moment captures an essential truth about human endurance. It is not constant. We all face moments when the mountains seem too high, the storms too fierce. Yet it is in these moments that the true test of perseverance unfolds. Elijah's story didn't end beneath that broom tree. Instead, it was a turning point, a moment of profound vulnerability that led to divine intervention and renewal. His experience mirrors our own struggles, reminding us that despair can be a catalyst for growth and transformation. Even the mightiest spirits have their moments of doubt. But it's not the end of their stories. Imagine being the best, yet still facing defeat. This paradox lies at the heart of the stories of two modern giants of perseverance, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. These athletes, legends in their own right, teach us that triumph often follows trials, and failures are merely stepping stones to greatness. Kobe Bryant, at the tender age of 11, experienced what many might call a crushing blow. He attended a summer basketball camp where, despite his best efforts, he failed to score a single point. For many, this could have been a point of no return. However, Kobe saw this not as a defeat, but as a challenge. His father's encouragement and his own relentless spirit led him to spend the next 3 years mastering the fundamentals of basketball. When he returned to the camp, he wasn't just better, he was transformed. This early failure was a catalyst that propelled him to become one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Similarly, Michael Jordan, whose name is synonymous with success, had his fair share of setbacks. Over the course of his illustrious career, he missed more than 9,000 shots. These were moments of potential despair. Each miss could have been seen as a reason to give up. Yet, Jordan himself said, "I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." His resilience turned potential defeats into lessons, pushing him to refine his skills continually. These stories are not just about basketball, they are about life. Both Kobe and Jordan faced numerous defeats, but chose to use them as fuel to ignite their determination and dedication. They understood that failure is not the opposite of success, but a part of it. Their losses didn't define them, their response to failure did. In the game of life, we often face setbacks. But it's not the fall that matters, it's how we choose to stand back up. The enemy tries to isolate and discourage us. In the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verses 9 to 12, it is written that two are better than one. They have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up. This ancient wisdom underscores the vital importance of community and mutual support. In recent times, the challenge of isolation has been magnified by events like the COVID-19 pandemic. This global crisis has physically separated us, making it easier for despair and loneliness to seep into our lives. Yet even in the midst of this, the scripture calls us to remember the power of unity. Ephesians chapter 6, verses 13 to 14 urges us to put on the whole armor of God so that we may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand firm. This means standing together, girded with truth and righteousness, supporting one another in times of hardship and doubt. As we face the spiritual battles of our lives, let us not underestimate the adversary's tactics of division and isolation. The enemy knows that there is strength in our unity and will do anything to undermine it. But together we can withstand the storms, lift each other up, and overcome the darkness with light. Remember, there is strength in numbers and power in standing together. What do you do while waiting for your breakthrough? In the silence of waiting, many feel the weight of stagnation. But here's a thought. Waiting isn't about doing nothing. It's an active, vibrant form of perseverance. In the scriptures, Isaiah 40, verse 31 tells us, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint." This isn't a passive pause, but a dynamic state of preparation and strengthening. Imagine waiting as a gardener tends to a garden. They plant seeds, water them, and remove the weeds, all while waiting for the plants to grow and bloom. The gardener doesn't see immediate results, but trusts that their efforts will lead to a flourishing garden. Similarly, each day you persist in doing the right thing, even when the fruits of your labor aren't yet visible. You are tending to the garden of your future. This process of active waiting involves nourishing your faith, continuing to act righteously, and maintaining your course despite the lack of immediate gratification. It's about preparing yourself for the opportunities that will come at the appointed time. The reward for this kind of patience is not just achieving your goals, but growing stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Your character is built not in moments of rapid success, but through the slow and testing periods of perseverance. Patience isn't just waiting, it's maintaining faith and action during the wait. When in doubt, return to the foundations. In the noise and chaos of our daily lives, it's easy to lose sight of the simple yet profound practices that ground and guide us. Let's talk about going back to the basics of spiritual life, reading the Bible, praying, worshiping, and meditating on the Word. Reading the Bible isn't just about absorbing text. It's about letting those sacred words soak into your heart and transform your perspective. Each verse offers new insights and reminders of God's presence and promise. It's a treasure trove that never ceases to enrich. Then there's prayer. Prayer is our direct line to the divine, a dialogue where we share our deepest hopes, fears, and thanks. It's where we're heard without judgment and can find peace in the assurance that we're not alone in our struggles. Prayer strengthens our connection to God, reinforcing our resilience against life's tumults. Worship, too, plays a pivotal role. It's an expression of our reverence and adoration for God, a celebration of His infinite grace and mercy. In worship, whether through song, service, or silent contemplation, we elevate ourselves from the mundane and reconnect with the eternal. Meditating on the Word allows us to delve deeper, to find personal relevance and wisdom in the Scriptures. As Philippians 4 verse 8 instructs, we should focus on whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable. If anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. This mindset shift can transform our outlook, encouraging positivity and resilience. By engaging in these fundamental practices, we build a robust spiritual core that sustains us through life's highs and lows. It's not merely about ritual or routine, but about filling our spiritual reserves, fortifying our inner strength, and aligning closer with divine guidance. Strengthen your core, your spiritual core, to face any challenge. Your story isn't over yet. In the tapestry of life, every thread counts, every color blends into the next, creating a picture far greater than its individual parts. Consider the story of Elijah from the Scriptures, a man who felt the weight of despair press upon him, so much so that he wished for his own end. Yet in his darkest moment, he woke to find sustenance provided by unseen hands. Bread and water beside him as he lay under the juniper tree. It was a clear divine message not to give up, but to rise and continue his mission. This metaphorical bread appears in our lives too, often when least expected but most needed. It reminds us that renewal is just within reach, that the next chapter of our story can begin with renewed strength and hope. Recall the tales of modern perseverance like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Kobe, who at 11 scored no points at a summer camp, could have let that define him. Instead, he chose to refine his skills, to rise and eat from the bread of persistence and hard work. Years later, he returned triumphantly. Michael Jordan missed more than 9,000 shots in his career, each miss a potential story of failure. Yet he saw them as stepping stones to greatness, essential parts of his journey. These stories, both ancient and modern, weave together a narrative that echoes through our lives, the importance of resilience. They teach us that failure, as much as it hurts, is not the end. It is instead a teacher guiding us towards our next victory. Let these stories remind you that your current struggles or setbacks are just parts of a larger, ongoing saga. You are the author of this epic tale called your life, and every moment of adversity is an opportunity to turn the page towards triumph. Don't let this chapter define your entire story. Rise, eat, and continue the journey. Thank you for watching. We hope this video brought you some hope in a time that seems so difficult. Blessings to you.